Best Wolverine, Hugh Jackman versus comic version. Hey there, fellow Marvel fans. Ever found yourself debating who the best Wolverine is? Is it the gritty, rough-around-the-edges comic book original, or the charismatic, emotionally complex portrayal by Hugh Jackman on the big screen? Today, we're diving claws first into this adamantium-laced showdown. We'll explore the origins, differences, and impact of both versions to finally settle the score. So, grab your favorite X-Men tea, and let's get started. The origin of Wolverine. Let's kick things off by tracing back to where it all began. Wolverine made his first appearance in the Marvel Comics universe in 1974. Created by writer Len Wein and artist John Romita Sr., he debuted in The Incredible Hulk, number 180 to 181. Fun fact, Wolverine was initially conceived as a Canadian superhero to boost sales in Canada. Inspired by the fierce personality and tenacity of a Wolverine animal, the character was designed to be a short, scrappy fighter with a mysterious past. His retractable claws and regenerative healing factor set him apart from other heroes. The creators wanted someone who wasn't your typical cape-wearing savior, but a gritty anti-hero who could hold his own against the Hulk, the comic book Wolverine. In the comics, Wolverine, whose real name is James Howlett, has one of the most complex backstories in Marvel history. Born in the late 1880s in Canada, young James endured a traumatic childhood that triggered his mutation. His powers manifested when bone claws emerged from his hands, and he possessed an accelerated healing factor. Wolverine is known for his tough-as-nails attitude, often preferring to work alone. He's the epitome of the lone wolf, pun intended. His anti-hero persona resonates through iconic storylines like Weapon X, where he was subjected to brutal experiments that laced his skeleton with adamantium, and Old Man Logan, a dystopian future tale where an aged Wolverine navigates a world without heroes. Over the decades, Wolverine's character has evolved tremendously. From his feral rage to moments of vulnerability, the comics delve deep into his psyche, exploring themes of identity, loss, and redemption. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Enter Hugh Jackman, a relatively unknown Australian actor at the time, cast as Wolverine in the 2000 film X-Men. Fans were skeptical. After all, Jackman towered at 6'2", a stark contrast to the comics' 5'3" Wolverine. But boy, did he prove everyone wrong. Jackman's portrayal brought a new depth to Wolverine. Across the X-Men film franchise, he developed the character from a lone outsider to a reluctant leader and mentor. Movies like X-Men Days of Future Past showcased his ability to anchor complex storylines, while Logan gave us an intimate look at an aging superhero grappling with his legacy. His performance added layers of emotional complexity, making Wolverine relatable to audiences worldwide. Jackman's charm, intensity, and dedication, remember those insane workout routines, elevated Wolverine from comic book pages to a global cinematic icon. Physical differences. Now let's talk about appearances. In the comics, Wolverine is famously short, standing at 5'3", with a stocky build, making him a formidable presence despite his height. His hair is wild, and he often dons the classic yellow and blue costume, complete with the cowl and pointed mask. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, on the other hand, is tall with a capital T. At 6'2", his physique is more towering than squat. The movies opted for a more realistic look, trading the bright costumes for rugged leather jackets and tank tops. While the iconic hairstyle is hinted at, it's less exaggerated than the comic version. The claws differ slightly too. In the comics, they're depicted as more animalistic, sometimes jagged. The films present them as sleek metallic weapons. These physical differences contributed to the distinct portrayals of the character in each medium. Personality and character development. Comic book Wolverine is often portrayed as more ruthless and aggressive. His berserker rage is a defining trait, leading him to unleash a brutal fighting style. He's gruff, sarcastic, and keeps others at arm's length, a true embodiment of the anti-hero archetype. Jackman's Wolverine starts with that rough exterior but gradually reveals a more humane and emotionally complex side. His relationships, especially with characters like Rogue and Professor X, show a mentor and father figure emerging from the hardened shell. The films explore his struggle with immortality, loss, and finding a place in the world. Both versions experience significant growth, but the nuances differ. In the comics, Wolverine often grapples with his animalistic nature, while in the films, there's a focus on his search for identity and redemption. Abilities and powers comparison. When it comes to powers, both versions share the core abilities: regenerative healing, enhanced senses, and those infamous claws. But there are some differences in how they're portrayed. In the comics, Wolverine's healing factor is incredibly potent. He survived nuclear explosions and regenerated from mere skeletons. His senses rival those of animals, aiding him in tracking in combat. His berserker rage amplifies his strength and speed, but at the cost of his control. The films tone down his healing slightly for the sake of realism, but still showcase impressive feats, like recovering from bullet wounds in seconds. Jackman's Wolverine is highly skilled in combat, with choreographed fight scenes emphasizing martial prowess. The berserker rage is present but depicted with more emotional weight, highlighting the internal struggle rather than just the physical frenzy. Iconic storylines and moments. The comics are rich with unforgettable Wolverine moments. Who could forget the death of Jean Grey during the Dark Phoenix saga, where Wolverine's emotional depth is on full display? His long-standing rivalry with Sabretooth has led to some epic battles, and storylines like Enemy of the State show him confronting his own dark side. In the movies, standout scenes include Wolverine's time-traveling mission in Days of Future Past, where he becomes the linchpin to saving both past and future. And of course, the heart-wrenching final moments in Logan, where we witness the end of an era. These scenes not only define his character, but also leave a lasting impact on fans. Both mediums provide moments that cement Wolverine's legacy as a hero who, despite his flaws, fights tirelessly for others. Cultural impact and legacy. Wolverine's influence on the superhero genre is undeniable. In comics, he redefined what it means to be a hero, introducing moral ambiguity and anti-hero qualities that paved the way for characters like Deadpool and the Punisher. Hugh Jackman's portrayal played a significant role in the surge of superhero films in the 2000s. His commitment to the character over 17 years is unparalleled, making him synonymous with Wolverine. The success of the X-Men films opened doors for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and beyond. Merchandise? Check. Spin-offs? You bet. From video games to animated series, Wolverine is everywhere. Fan and critical reception. Among comic book enthusiasts, the original Wolverine is celebrated for his depth and complexity. He's often listed among the greatest comic characters of all time. The gritty storylines and moral dilemmas resonate deeply with readers. Hugh Jackman's performance has garnered critical acclaim, earning awards and nominations. He's praised for bringing authenticity and nuance to a character that could have easily been one-dimensional on screen. Fans adore him, and many can't imagine anyone else filling those shoes. Or claws. The debate continues in communities and forums. Which Wolverine reigns supreme? It's a testament to the strength of both portrayals that this discussion is still going strong. Who is the best Wolverine? So who takes the crown? The truth is, both versions bring something unique to the table. The comic book Wolverine is the classic, the foundation of it all, offering rich stories and a deep dive into a complex character. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine brought that character to life, adding layers of emotional depth and making him accessible to a global audience. At the end of the day, Wolverine's best version might just be the one that resonates most with you. Whether you're Team Comic or Team Jackman, one thing's for sure: we all love the old Knucklehead. Thanks for joining me on this epic journey. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more Marvel content, and let me know in the comments, who is your favorite Wolverine? Until next time, stay uncanny.